Everyone in the courtroom thought Elena Hart would cry. After all, she had just lost everything. The judge's voice echoed through the room as the divorce was finalized. 3 years of marriage ended in less than 5 minutes. Her husband, Adrian Wolfe, sat across from her, calm, cold, expensive suit, billionaire confidence written all over his face. "Do you have anything to say?" the judge asked. Elena shook her head slowly. No tears, no anger, no explanation. She simply stood up, picked up her worn handbag, and walked out without looking back. Adrian frowned. That wasn't how this was supposed to go. Elena had entered his life as a simple interior designer. Quiet, kind, forgettable, or so he thought. His powerful family never accepted her. His ex-fiancée poisoned his mind with lies. And when business pressure mounted, Adrian chose the easiest sacrifice. Her. She married you for money, they said. She's useless, they said. She'll beg when you leave her, Adrian believed. But she didn't beg. She vanished. No goodbye, no phone call, no message. By evening, Adrian felt an unfamiliar restlessness. The penthouse felt emptier than ever. He poured himself a drink, trying to silence the strange tightness in his chest. Then his assistant rushed in, pale. "Sir, she's gone. Her apartment is empty. Her number is disconnected." Adrian laughed dismissively. "She'll come back." But deep down, something felt wrong. The moment Elena Hart stepped onto the private jet, the cabin lights softened automatically, as if the aircraft itself recognized her presence. Plush leather seats, polished wood panels, and a quiet efficiency filled the space. This world had once been her everyday life, before love made her walk away from it. She paused for a brief second at the entrance. Not because she was afraid, but because she was letting go. The Elena who had cried silently into pillows. The Elena who had cooked dinner for a man who never came home. The Elena who believed loyalty could fix contempt. That woman stayed behind on the runway. As the jet door closed, so did the chapter of her life. "Takeoff authorized," the captain announced. And with a powerful surge, the aircraft rose into the sky, just as Elena's life did. The collapse of a billionaire. Back in the city, Adrian Wolfe stood frozen in his glass-walled boardroom, staring at the screen like a man watching his own execution. Hart Global Holdings acquired 87% controlling shares. The words repeated in his head, each time cutting deeper. "That's impossible," Adrian muttered. Hart Global doesn't move without warning. But the warning had been there. In the woman he ignored. In the name he never asked about. In the calm dignity she carried even when humiliated. His assistant swallowed nervously. "Sir, the board is requesting your resignation. Immediately." Adrian laughed, a hollow, broken sound. "This is my company." A lawyer cleared his throat. "Not anymore." Within hours, Adrian Wolfe, the man once celebrated as the youngest self-made billionaire, was escorted out of his own headquarters. Cameras flashed. Headlines exploded. "Billionaire falls from power after shock takeover." Mysterious Hart heiress behind Wolfe Industries' downfall. And then came the name. Elena Hart. The truth comes out. As the jet cruised above the clouds, Elena sat across from her uncle, Victor Hart, the acting chairman of Hart Global. "You never should have gone through that alone," he said gently. Elena smiled faintly. "I chose it. I wanted a life where my name didn't open doors." "And did you find it?" She looked out the window. "I found love, or what I thought was love." Victor sighed. "The board wanted to act the moment he filed for divorce." "I know," Elena said calmly. "But I wanted to wait. To see if he'd fight for you." "No," she replied. "To see if I still cared." She didn't. That realization was her freedom. The meeting he didn't deserve. 3 days later, Adrian received a summons. Not a request, a summons. Hart Global Holdings demanded his presence at Wolfe Industries, now renamed Wolfe Hart Group, though his name was only there for legal convenience. When Adrian entered the executive conference room, his heart nearly stopped. Elena sat at the head of the table. Not the woman he divorced. This Elena wore a tailored ivory suit, her posture composed, her gaze sharp but unreadable. Executives stood when she entered. People waited for her approval before speaking. She didn't even look surprised to see him. "Mr. Wolfe," she said coolly. "You're late." His throat tightened. "Elena, I didn't know. If I had known who you were." She raised a hand, silencing him. "That's the problem, Adrian. You should have known who I was without the money." The room felt too small for his shame. "You humiliated me," he whispered. "You left without a word." She leaned back slightly. "No, you left first. You just forgot to walk out." The board members exchanged uneasy glances. Elena slid a folder across the table. These are the terms of your severance. Adrian opened it with shaking hands. Generous. More than generous. You're letting me go, peacefully? He asked, confused. I'm not cruel, Elena said. I just don't reward betrayal. He swallowed hard. Did any of this, any part, mean something to you? Her eyes softened for half a second. Just enough to remind him of what he lost. It meant everything, she said quietly. That's why it can never happen again. The apology too late. After the meeting, Adrian followed her into the hallway, ignoring the stairs. Elena, please, he said. I was blind. I was pressured. I thought you were using me. She stopped walking, turned. For 3 years, she said softly, I washed your clothes, waited for you, defended you, and loved you when you gave me nothing in return. She stepped closer, her voice steady. And you still thought I was using you? His eyes filled with tears. I lost you, he whispered. She nodded, yes, and walked away. A new beginning. Months passed. Under Elena's leadership, the Wolf Heart Group flourished. Toxic executives were removed, ethical policies enforced, profits soared, not through exploitation, but innovation. Elena became a symbol, not of revenge, but of rebirth. She bought a quiet seaside villa. She painted again. She laughed, real laughter, for the first time in years. One evening, as the sun melted into the ocean, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I hope you're happy. You deserve to be. She didn't reply. She didn't need to. The final truth. Adrian Wolf watched her success from afar. Every headline hurt, not because he lost power, but because he lost her. He finally understood the truth. Elena never needed his money, never needed his name, never needed his world. She only needed respect, and he failed her. Epilogue. Years later, when asked in an interview about the biggest lesson of her life, Elena Hart smiled thoughtfully. Never make yourself small for love, she said. The right person will never ask you to. And somewhere, far away, a man who once had everything learned what true loss really meant. Because the day Elena walked out of that courtroom without a word was the day a billionaire lost the only woman who ever loved him.